This is Real News Media TV, coverage you can trust. Please like, share, subscribe, and hit the notification bell. Select all for daily news updates. Good morning, my Real News Media TV family. Thank you so much for tuning in this morning, and I'm wishing for everyone a wonderful and a productive day. And in the news this morning for September 27, 2023, quadruple murder shocks a quiet farming community. 5 children outside their neighbor's house in the dead of night was the first sign that something sinister was afoot in the quiet farming district of Crawl in Riversdale, St. Catherine on Tuesday. Neighbors soon learned that the 5 siblings, all boys between the ages of 6 months and 14 years, had been sent out of their house by gunmen who had forced their way inside and murdered their mother, 45-year-old Karen Higgins McGrath, grandmother Dorothy Higgins, the helper, 38-year-old Diane Nicola Johnson, of Tom's Hope in Fellowship, Portland, and her spouse, known only as Kevin. Police said the brutal murders were committed about 2:15 a.m. by 3 men, all dressed in dark clothing, wearing masks and armed with handguns. According to Carencia Morrison, the Member of Parliament for St. Catherine Northeastern, one of the gunmen placed the baby in his stroller and told the other children to pack food and clothes and to leave the house. Morrison said the victims were known to the residents as hard-working people. It's a peaceful constituency. You see the humble people, small farmers, shopkeepers, that go about their daily course of life. So to hear the concerns, the cries and the grief, it is unbearable. And as their Member of Parliament, they are looking to me for answers, for comfort. So what I can commit to is to work closely with the police as they go about finding who the perpetrators are, and very importantly, that this does not become a feature of an otherwise peaceful community, Morrison said. As news of the murders started to spread, residents gathered on the road near the house looking on in disbelief. One resident who described the family as very quiet told the news that he is shocked that something like this happened in the community. "It's rough, because I never expected this. Crime turned up everywhere," the man said, adding that he has lived in the community for more than 20 years, and this was the first time he had seen something like this. A 54-year-old woman said that the slain family concerned themselves mostly with farming and taking their children to school. However, the grandmother Dorothy was more jovial and sociable and would readily participate in various church activities. "I feel very overwhelmed because we never see anything like this. I've been here from I was born," the distraught woman said. A relative of the victims said he was in shock and was worried about the children. Senior Superintendent of Police Stephanie Lindsay, while lamenting the tragedy, thanked God that the children had not been harmed. They are in police custody and they are currently working now to find some relatives to take custody of the children, she said. Lindsay, who heads the constabulary's communications arm, said at the time that the police had no leads as to the motive, as the investigation was still in the early stage. They are picking bits and pieces of information from whoever they can talk to and from what our intelligence is telling us, but still we don't know, so they are following some lines of inquiries and looking at everything they are getting now to see if we can be closer to what led to this attack and then who are the persons responsible, Lindsay stated. She also revealed that before the attack, the family was in mourning as a male member had died suddenly last Friday. Lindsay said a complete profile for him would have been done now that his family members had been murdered. Additionally, a post-mortem is to be done to confirm the cause of death. With a number of theories circulating as to the motive for Tuesday's murders, Lindsay urged anyone with information to contact the Riversdale Police Station, the Spanish Town Police Station, Crime Stop at 311, or the Jamaica Constabulary Forces Anonymous Tip Line 811. Man killed in confrontation with the police in St. Elizabeth. The Independent Commission of Investigations is probing an incident in which a man who was among a group who engaged the police in a reported confrontation was fatally shot in St. Elizabeth early Tuesday morning. A firearm was recovered. The news was informed that the man was among a group of men who had advertised guns for sale on a social media platform. Members of counterterrorism and organized crime investigations branch, disguised as customers, carried out a sting operation in the Montpelier area in search of the men. It's reported that the men, believing that the cops were purchasers, attempted to rob them. This led to a gun battle in which one of the men was fatally shot and a gun recovered. 4 others escaped. The men left behind a motorcycle and a Toyota Axio motor car. Sections of Tucker in Granville, St. James under curfew. A curfew has been imposed in sections of Tucker, Granville, St. James. It began at 6 p.m. on Tuesday, September 26, and will remain in effect until 6 p.m. on Thursday, September 28. The boundaries of the curfew are north along the Tucker Main Road, about 818 meters from Savannah's Seafood Place to the intersection with Chambers Drive. East along Chambers Drive, about 1,152 meters from the intersection of the Tucker Main Road to the Granville Police Station at the southern boundary. South, continuing along Chambers Drive, about 667 meters from the Granville Police Station to the intersection of the Fairfield Main Road. West along the Fairfield Main Road, about 1,582 meters from the intersection of Chambers Drive to the Savannah's Seafood Place at the Tucker Main Road. During the curfew, all persons are required to remain within their premises unless otherwise authorized by the ground commander. We are nowhere closer to finding them, says Paulwell, as a daughter and a mother remain missing. Member of Parliament for East Kingston and Port Royal, Philip Paulwell, says that the authorities are nowhere closer to finding his missing 10-month-old daughter, Saraya, and her mother, 27-year-old Tashawn Patterson. The two were last seen at their Gilmore Drive, Kingston 20 home on the morning of September 9, but have not been seen since. Paulwell gave the update during Tuesday's sitting of the House of Representatives, where he expressed thanks to his colleagues and the House staff for their support. Indeed, all of Jamaica who have reached out to me over the last 2 weeks as I go through my own personal trial, despite the fact that we are nowhere closer today than we were 2 weeks ago in finding my daughter Saraya and her mother. But I do feel the prayers, and it's a prayers for hundreds and hundreds of Jamaicans who have reached out, Paulwell said. In these times, sometimes your own faith can be weakened, but I can assure you, Madam Speaker, and indeed this nation, my faith is stronger today than it has been, he added. The veteran MP also expressed thanks to the police for the work they have been doing and to urge everybody to continue to pray so that they will be returned safe. It was reported in the media on September 15 that a person of interest whom the police believe can help in their investigations was removed from an aircraft at one of the island's 2 international airports as that person attempted to leave the island. The individual was said to be cooperating with the police. Paulwell has said that the situation with his missing child and mother is by far the most difficult thing I have ever had to navigate. Don't forget to like, share, subscribe, and hit the notification bell. Select all for daily news updates.